to the flag of the United States of America, republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice and to attend the meetings of public bodies in which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Fort Lee Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published on January 10th, 2025, and posted on the district website at www.flboe.com, published in the board's designated online media outlet newspapers, The Record and the Star Ledger, filed with the clerk of the Borough of Fort Lee, and mailed to all persons, if any, who have requested said notice. Please be advised this meeting is being recorded and may be broadcasted on local TV and online at a future date. The Open Public Meeting Act allows for remote participation at board meetings and defines meeting as any gathering, whether corporeal or by means of communication equipment, which is attended by or open to all of the members of a public body, held with the intent on the part of the members of the body present to discuss or act as a unit upon the specific public business of that body. Roll call, please.
Ms. Myers-Kane, Ms. Colbath.
Here.
Ms. Curry.
Here.
Mr. Knight. Here. Ms. Botank.
Here.
Mr. Lopez. Here. Ms. Morel.
Here.
Mr. Rubino. Here. Ms. Richter.
Here. The board will be convening to executive session to discuss legal, personnel, and other confidential matters. The board will reconvene into public session at approximately 7:30 p.m. May I have a motion to go into executive session? Motion Rubino, second Curry. All in favor?
I think Curry had me on that one.
Any opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Fort Lee Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published on January 10th, 2025, and posted on the district website at www.flboe.com, published in the board's designated online media outlet, newspaper, The Record and the Star Ledger, filed with the clerk of the Borough of Fort Lee, and mailed to all persons, if any, who have requested said notice. Please be advised this meeting is being recorded and may be broadcasted on local TV and online at a future date. The Open Public Meeting Act allows for remote participation at board meetings and defines meeting as any gathering, whether corporeal or by means of communication equipment, which is attended by or open to all of the members of a public body, held with the intent on the part of the members of the body present to discuss or act as a unit upon the specific public business of that body. Roll call, please.
Ms. Myers-Kane,
Here.
Ms. Colbath,
Here.
Ms. Curry,
Here.
Mr. Knight. Here. Ms. Botank.
Here.
Mr. Lopez. Here. Ms. Morel.
Here.
Mr. Rubino. Ms. Richter.
Here. The board convened the executive session at 6:30 p.m. to discuss legal, personnel, and other confidential matters. Dr. Kravitz, will you begin by sharing the superintendent's report?
Yes, thank you, President Richter. Good evening, and thank you all for attending tonight. I want to begin by announcing several initiatives that are taking place over the next several weeks. On May 13th at 6 p.m., the high school will be held in a high school forum on what's happening in our high school and it's open to parents grades 8 through 12. More information will be coming out on a daily basis, or I should say in the next couple of days. And we will remind everyone, please attend at the high school. A survey will be going out on May 19th. That is part of our strategic plan. There are several questions regarding the future of the district as we plan long term. I would ask that all parents fill out the information, give their opinion. We have a nice group of people out there who want to share their thoughts. This can help drive the strategic planning. A few more strategic planning events. There will be a virtual community forum on May 29th. Again, more information will be sent out in the next couple of days. June 2nd, the Board of Education will be having a forum here on our strategic plan. June 5th will be for staff, and June 9th for our administrators. And of course, the many events that take place from now until the end of the year, including our last day, which is graduation. So I encourage everyone to participate. I also acknowledge there are many questions this evening on the events that took place earlier in the month of April. As you most recently saw in a few press releases, the investigation continues and has been ongoing, which means that if you are asking specific questions, the response has always been, it's still an ongoing investigation, as you saw recently. But we will be presenting some things again on May 13th. I am happy to introduce two high school students tonight, Cheech Lee and Olivia Tesfa. We'll talk about what's happening in our high school.
Hello everyone, my name is Cheech Lee and I serve as the current co-vice president of FLBOE High School Student Council.
Hi, my name is Olivia Tesfa, and I'm also part of the Student Council.
Host, along with the FLBOE feed, collaborated to create a video for Autism Acceptance Month. We hope it was as informational and engaging to watch as it was to me. Thank you to everyone who helped and participated. Happy Autism Acceptance Month. If you would like to see the video, you can check it out on the FLBOE feed Instagram page.
The Science Festival unfolded right before spring break without a hitch, showcasing seamless logistics from start to finish. Volunteers rose to every occasion, keeping energy high and stations running smoothly. Experiment leaders orchestrated their activities with impressive clarity and engagement. Elementary and middle school students were captivated, leaving the event buzzing with curiosity and excitement.
Congratulations to Aaron Kim, who placed third in the Bergen County Stigma-Free Sticker Contest.
Several members of the FLBOE boys and girls track team competed at the prestigious Penn Relays at the University of Pennsylvania last week. This meet has a rich history that started in 1895 and has since become an international event. Senior Alexa Castro, juniors Chelsea Lewis, Alice Marcus, and sophomore Maddie Eastman represented the FLBOE girls and the 4x10 sprint relay. Seniors Amadou Traore, Ron Luprowski, and sophomores Adriel Lee and Sean Lee represented the FLBOE boys in the 4x10, while seniors Ron Luprowski, Dylan Song, Gregory Da Vinci, and junior Christian Bruton represented the boys in the 4x400. Former standout student athlete Diana Valentini, class of 2023, was also there competing as a member of the Johns Hopkins University women's track team. It was an incredible experience for these FLBOE athletes.
Janelle Lewis, FLBOE High School alumni and current Caldwell College women's basketball player, was named first team All-Met Conference and first team academic All-Met Conference. Congratulations, Janelle, and keep making us proud.
On Thursday, May 1st, the Student Council, in collaboration with the Guidance Department, proudly hosted our annual career fair. The event featured representatives from over 20 different career fields, offering our sophomores and juniors the opportunity to engage in meaningful conversations, gather information, and explore a wide range of career options. And a special thank you goes to our junior, Cheech Lee, for his outstanding contributions as a coordinator in organizing volunteers and designing promotional posters. His dedication played a key role in the success of the event.
And lastly, the FLBOE High School Academy of Finance and the NAF National Academy of Finance Network has reached the Catherine Blassick Distinguished Level, NAF's highest level achievement. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for that report. Thank you, Mr. Lee, for waving your hand, so we all know that was you. We do have on the agenda tonight two HIVs, one of which was founded, one was not. We do have a walk-in resolution, 6B. Taylor, if you don't mind reading the resolution.
Yes. Thank you. This is a resolution to rescind the voluntary recognition of the FLBOE Education Association as the bargaining representative of technology staff employees.
So that will be 6B. And lastly, and never to be forgotten, this is the beginning of Teacher Appreciation Week. Thank you for all our teachers for the continued hard work that they do each and every day for the service to the FLBOE school community. Thank you very much. This concludes my report.
Thank you. Do we have committee reports?
I got one. Just prior to this meeting, the policy committee met. We continue to work on the electronic device policy that we hope very soon will be on the agenda, working through the different age groups and getting feedback from our administration. We also review the eligibility of resident and non-resident students. There are some mandatory changes to our policy relating to payment of students who leave the district, even if they leave a week before the end of the school year or even earlier, and changes related to charges that we are able to make to our teachers and other staff. Those are in the works and will be on a future agenda.
Just at the negotiations front, we had a negotiations meeting on April 28th, and I'm happy to say that we have a tentative agreement in place with the Fort Lee Education Associations. We're still working on some minor updates to the wording and the contracts. And there's a ratification meeting scheduled for May 15th. So I expect that this item will be on the agenda for May 19th. On the finance front, we had a finance meeting on May 2nd to talk about the responses for the RFP for youth banking services. We have received 5 responses, and so we started to look at those. There was additional information obtained at that meeting regarding interest calculations. So right now there's a validation underway, which will be shared shortly. We expect to have this as a vote on May 19th as well. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any other committee reports? Okay. Do board members have questions or comments on tonight's agenda or any other topic?
We should always give teachers a shout out, but this being appreciation, special shout out to our president, Chris Richter. Also, it's I believe it's Wednesday is National School Nurse Day, so I want to give them a special shout out as well. Not only do they respond to illnesses and emergencies, but we also promote health education in our schools. Big shout out to them. Good luck to all the kids who have taken the SLA.
Motions regarding security. I don't know if I should make them now or at the end. What would be your preference?
What do you mean motions regarding
motions,
security?
Things I'd like to make motions about. You want to do that now or later?
Say you want to do business?
Yeah, new business at the end.
Okay, thank you.
So I too want to thank all of our teachers. They are definitely our biggest asset in the district, and they make us proud every single day. So a big, very big thank you to all of you. Also, I'll say it now before we get to the personnel resolutions, but congratulations on Diana Costa on her retirement and her 22 years of hard work and devotion to the district.
Just want to congratulate the Fort Lee High School Orchestra band and also choir. They put out an excellent performance on last Thursday. So thank you for all parents who came out, because without the kids seeing an audience there support them, their music wouldn't have felt as much as important. And so your presence matters. So please keep coming out to these performances and support them. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I saw you there. I was like, she wasn't there, but she was there. I love our teachers. Thank you very, very much for everything that you do. Ms. Acosta, thank you for putting up with me the last 4 years. And I hope you have a wonderful retirement. I want to say that I've been following lots of different high schools in the area. Some that, Tenafly, MBOT, some private schools. And I'm extremely proud of our students in this district for their acceptances across the board. Without the guidance department, our guidance department did a great job with helping students. And if anybody hasn't seen it, I suggest you go to Fort Lee High School 25 commits or something like that, you can find it. And you can see all of the wonderful colleges that the students are going to. So I mean, across the board, it's not only just regular four-year colleges, you have students going to trade schools, you have students going to the military. I mean, I know that Fort Lee has a lot to be proud of. We have so many successful students and people that come out of our district. So I feel very proud, and like I said, I have been watching and comparing. Even though comparison is the thief of all joy, I have been doing it, but this time it's not the thief of all joy. Fort Lee's coming out very, very good this year. We have so much to be proud of, and I'm sure next year will be the same. The concert was amazing. There's just so many great things going on. Our baseball team, I mean, look what they're doing. They got the first time in history that the baseball team got as far as they've gotten, the varsity team. The track, I mean, there's so many things that are going on that are wonderful within the high school. And we just I would like to see us continue those great things and add to them. And I want to give everybody love and respect that they deserve. I know that to say there's not an elephant in the room would be silly, but we need to stick together and be proud and be kind and patient. And now I'm gonna switch real quick to 11B. And I see that 11B, the stipend changed from, I guess it went half, maybe, I'm not looking at numbers, but I think half. So does that mean maybe they didn't work the hours to get that much money?
They're splitting the stipend.
Oh, okay.
Two individuals are splitting that same stipend.
Okay, that's it, thank you.
Yeah, one other question. I have a quick question on the survey that you talked about that's going to go out to parents. Is that going to be with Google format or the parents will be able to type questions or concerns?
So it's actually using a program for the strategic planning called Think Central. It's part of the strategic plan that those who are on the strategic planning committee met. What that does is allow for comments, for people to make comments, and then it groups them together using AI so that people can start to respond. And obviously it filters out people who are making inappropriate comments or anything that's said regarding personnel. And it translates into multiple languages. So people get to, here's an open-ended question, you get a comment, and then it starts to make that list. So those forums will end up having those comments. What's the dominant theme? If 40 of the 100 respondents say we're interested in better facilities, this is, and people can comment off that, and people can see other people's comments. Again, but it's filtered. So it is more of a different kind of communication tool. The program itself, we will look at or can look at, but for the purpose of the strategic plan, that company that we recommended uses that, and then they'll create a form at the end of what the action steps that need to get taken.
What was it called? Think what?
Think Central. Oh, Thought Exchange, sorry. Thought Exchange. Think Central is an HMH program. Yes. Thought Exchange. Thought Exchange, sorry. Thought Exchange. And it allows for that exchange of ideas. I know Mr. Knight had brought up in the beginning a while ago about how do you get people to communicate back and forth. This allows that for a theme. So some of the schools have started to use that as a program that allows for themes to be created and then sent out there and again into different languages. Yep, it's very cool program. Thanks, corrected.
Okay. May I have a motion to open the floor to the public?
Motion. Second.
Motion Kovac, second Curry, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, we will hear first from members of the public physically located here with us. Then we will take questions and comments from those participating remotely. Participants are limited to 3 minutes in which to make their statement. For remote participants, please select the raise hand button. District Technology Coordinator, Mr. Ruggiero, will recognize each community member in the order of the raised hands. When you are called on, please unmute your microphone. Everyone, please state your name and address for the record and limit your comment to 3 minutes. We have members here in public who wish to speak.
Reds, 515 West Avenue. At the last meeting, I ended my public comment on Zoom by asking for less line. After rewatching the video, I heard two moms in the room loudly ask who I was, because they didn't like what I had just said. I'd like to apologize for this. Yes, is this better? Okay, I'm struggling. At the last meeting, I ended my public comment on Zoom by asking for less lying. Rewatching the video, I heard two moms in the room loudly ask who I was, because they didn't like what I had just said. I'd like to apologize to those two parents. My comment wasn't intended for either of you. Now about the last meeting. In the mix of parents correctly asking for a parents' town hall, two things stood out to me. But first, let me share something I read, which feels germane to recent events. In a recent Financial Times article about the 100th anniversary of The Great Gatsby, there is a quote: "The reckless driver of a speeding car is what brings the party of Gatsby crashing to an end. It is a story about the wreckage left in the wake of rotten drivers like Daisy, who break things and move on. Carelessness, in Fitzgerald's vision, is more than negligence. It is a way of wielding power. It is the certainty that the world exists to absorb your damage." The reason I bring this up is because of two comments at the last board meeting that I felt were careless in this way. At about 1 hour and 34 minutes, a board member said she knew the district had rumors of chicken buses and red shirts for years, and then asked if we have smoke detectors in all of our bathrooms at the high school. The point was she's known people smoke in the bathrooms, and then specifically said smoking marijuana. And she's known about this since before 2020 when her son graduated. I was surprised that she hasn't pursued solving the residency question or the smoking of illegal drugs in our high school bathrooms before now. It feels careless to not have addressed these important issues earlier in light of what's just recently happened. The second comment made by a different board member felt really careless. The head of the security committee reported at around minute 4 and 44 seconds included personal opinions, like that gangs exist in every school in the United States. This opinion is his and his alone. In fact, the board president had to correct him when he was finished so that the public knew that our local police chief actually stated there was not evidence of gangs at the Forty High School. A careless mixing of personal opinions and incorrect facts creates a lack of trust from the students and parents with this board, especially when those careless comments feel more tailored to be quoted in the local paper than presented to be used for addressing a traumatic event at our high school. For those who had attended the board retreat in early March or had watched the recording afterwards, you would know that students are your #1 customers of this board. You answer to them first and foremost. They deserve your care of being provided with relevant facts and engender trust in public meetings and on social media. The purpose of a board retreat is in part training for current board members to be reminded of how to do your job best. I recommend those board members fought so earnestly to make that recording available to the public when we watch it. It is important that this board, the administration, and parents that we wield our power with great care for the betterment of our schools, academically and socio-emotionally. I ask that everyone overseeing our children's education be singularly committed to this collaborative purpose.
Good evening, everybody. Keith Goslin, 2185 Lemoyne Avenue. Happy birthday, young lady. I said that selfishly, it's my birthday. So I wanted to just remind everybody in the district, parents and guardians of children in the special education parents group, we have our next CPAC meeting on May
21st.
21st, right?
Yes, 21st.
So May 21st at 7 p.m. The deadline for candidates to submit, the deadline RSVP for childcare is May 16th. That's why I was getting confused. So please RSVP for childcare to CPAC and FLBOE.com. Again, the meeting's May 21st, 7 p.m.
That's here.
It is kind of, it is over there in the media room. Okay. We're moving the meeting, or they moved the meeting. But we want to, make sure anybody, who wants to participate is there. We have 5 candidates. We're very proud of that for 3 leadership positions, so that's very exciting. The candidates will be speaking about why they want to be in CPAC leadership, so that's exciting as well. We hope that you all join us for that. We also have Police Chief Matthew Hintz. He'll be showing up to discuss the Blue Envelope program. That's basically for bad drivers that get pulled over a lot. Who have kids like mine, you give the envelope to the police officer and they know what's going on or they got a hint. So Matt will be showing up, or Chief Hintz will be showing up to present the that, and we're excited about that as well. But most of the meeting will be all about the parents. So the first 15 or 20 will be with the police chief, and then the rest will be the candidates, and of course, any other parents that are nominated or guardians as well. And just one thing, I had no voice, so apologies for when I was in Africa calling in. It was a terrible, painful voice. But I wanted to say, and I couldn't because I had a terrible voice that night, we really need to figure out a way to not destroy each other when we disagree. We really can do that. And I plead to everybody in this town, like, we can love each other and figure out how to work together. So that's a plea, selfish plea, but that's it. Thank you. Oh, excuse me. One question, how's that bus tracking going?
We will have it up and running, guarantee it for next year.
Good, thank you.
Happy birthday, and Ms. Kotang as well.
Anyone else present in the audience wish to speak before we go online? Okay, Mr. Ruggiero?
Melanie Goodman, you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening. Actually, my name is Andrew Goodman. Melanie, my daughter Melanie's account, 326 Bridge Plaza North here in Fort Lee. I just want to follow what Keith was mentioning about the Special Ed Parents Advisory Group that will be meeting on May 21st. The meeting will slight change of venue. The meeting will be in the Fort Lee Middle School Media Center, okay? Not the school cafetorium as was previously announced. Information for the meeting is also posted on the Fort Lee BOE website. Again, we'll have representatives from the Fort Lee Police Department talking about the Blue Envelope program. Also on the Fort Lee BOE website, there's a link also about the program, and also emails have been sent out by Monica Hines, the Director of Special Services. Thank you all and have a good night.
Mihail, you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So, Mihail Comonescu, 254 Tom Hunter Road, Fort Lee. So 2 things that I want to bring tonight on the agenda. One thing is in regards to the policy change for electronic surveillance in school buildings and school grounds. So for that, just going over the policy, it seems that we as parents expect the kids to be recorded, and these videos would be stored with the superintendent or a trustee, and then is the equivalent of trust me, bro, right? So with that in mind, what I have as a question is, could you guys adopt language that would prevent and would guide how this material is stored and preserved? And one thing that I want to push for is add verbiage that prevents the sharing for training, especially models and artificial intelligence, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have years of video of these kids, and the companies out there, they're hungry to train and have better chatbots, video recognition software, facial recognition software, behavior recognition software, and so on. And while currently the state law might prevent this kind of usage of the kids' video recordings, in the future, that might change. So with that in mind, please add verbiage to the language in uh, to the rules, so these cases would be covered when it comes to how this data is used by the companies that stored the videos, not the parents. Another thing, Dr. Kravitz mentioned artificial intelligence, and one thing that he mentioned was that based on the comments, uh, parents would be filtered out and their opinions might not pop out. One thing to bring up is that a lot of parents are contra to some of the policies that the districts have pushed, and they're very vocal about it. So the question is, would that software that you propose to use would filter this kind of opinions out? And with that in mind, it's about the policy 5756, or more recently, the Hamas and Israel uh, conflict of opinions that we had in the school district. I would be really curious to see how would the software in question would behave when say, it's tested with comments for pro and against these kind of issues, and that be made public. So in this way, we build some trust that parents are not filtered out based on their opinion, and so that's the two topics that I've talked. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the question. So regarding the artificial intelligence for filtering, if a teacher's name or someone's name is recognized or mentioned, that name would not be allowed to be posted. So it specifically looks for names. So you can't make a comment about someone specific, whether it's a teacher or a board member or anyone. They just won't let you comment back and forth about somebody. As far as the other policy, if you'd like to speak about that.
Our policies are reviewed and revised by our board policy committee. They actually come through the service that we use, Strauss Esme. It's a team of attorneys that review legislation and write policy for the board policy committee to review and determine what revisions will be put in place and voted upon. If the board policy committee would like to postpone adopting this policy for second read, that's a resolution that can be recommended. If not, I'd be happy to run the policy by our board attorney following the vote for further information.
Steph Kotso, you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Hello, Stephanie Kotso, Tom Hunter Road, Fort Lee, New Jersey. I couldn't really hear what the first person was speaking about that well as a panelist, because it seemed like it was something about parents or what parents said. It's very muted, the microphone tonight. Even Casey was a little bit hard to understand. My question is about the budget. We were 7 years ago, I believe, at 65 million. Our budget right now is around 100 million. I believe a few meetings ago, I spoke to Superintendent Kravitz, and he said that our enrollment hasn't gone up that much. While I was looking over the numbers, I saw that we have a 3.5 million maintenance reserve, a $2 million legal reserve, $820,000 emergency reserve. The child study team, is that 1.8 million? 1.8 million. Does the study team people that work there, is that for salaries? Like, what is the specific breakdown when you say child study team exactly? And I think it looks like it's going up to 3.2 million. Maybe I'm wrong. I was just looking at the numbers. All in all, the special education is a very large number. And then I see that the state is providing money. Does that go towards the children's 22,000 that we're paying basically for the district? I just don't understand. Is that an extra fee for those kids because of the special needs? I kind of wanted a more specific breakdown of what's in there. And also, I'd just like to thank the boys who spoke out about the conditions that are in the high school, and so many kids that have been speaking out about feeling unsafe. And I really believe that all the stakeholders in the district and the parents of children in the lower schools and middle schools should be at these meetings so they can know and be prepared for what is going to be done. I think that would be the best bet for the district and how we deal with the security issues that are going on. So on the budget, it's just unclear exactly the way the funding is with the state, and maybe if someone could just break that down, or if there's somewhere you can point me to look at it in more depth, I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
In terms of the budget, we'll start with the general fund, which is Fund 10, makes up 10, Funds 10, 11, 12, and 13. That is made up of the tax levy, of about 78 million. $633,952. And then you have your state aid, which is made up of, all right, let's fight in the glasses. Total state aid is $7,624,880. But that includes a form called X8, which is discretionary. It's not a part of the original state allotment. Then you have your total amount for the operating fund, which is made up of $92,970,131. And I omitted some other revenues we have, such as tuitions, interest, and some other miscellaneous other revenues that make up the total amount of $92,970,131. Then you have Fund 20, which is your special revenues, also known as grants. And that has been forecasted for a decrease, so we budgeted that way accordingly. And in 25-26, that would make up $2,012,661. And then lastly, you have your debt service, which is prior referendums going back to 2014 and give me the other year something, but there were 2 referendums here in Fort Lee. The actual tax levy is $4,272,052, and the aid from the state is $411,724, for a grand total of $4,683,776. That's just like paying your mortgage, but it's just on a separate line or bank account. And that is pretty much all of our funds. And the total amount of revenue and appropriations that have to balance is $99,666,568. The county has approved our budget fiscally with no changes from what we submitted. And there was one minor change just to the programmatic piece. Other than that, your other questions you had was related to the reserves. I apologize, I don't have the reserves in front of me tonight, but I can email you that information in terms of the capital reserve amount that's based upon the last audit, or we can get back to you on that. Did I miss anything else? Yeah. Thank you.
Mike Asso, you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
All right. Hi, everyone. Mike Asso, 230 Warren Avenue, Fort Lee. First thing I just want to say, big shout out to our boys' varsity baseball team for winning this past Saturday in the Bergen County game, which the It's our first county win in varsity baseball in school history. So a big shout out to the boys. They work hard, and hopefully they get Mr. Kravitz can find in your heart to give them a day off for their work. Two,
Friday, they can have the day off.
yeah, give them the day off. It's good. They work hard. They got Don Bosco next, so they're going to need the day off to work. But the next thing is a concern of mine. For 2 years in a row, the middle school field does not have clay. For 2 years in a row, the middle school field does not have clay to take care of the home plate area and the mound. And for 2 years in a row, we've had broken lights for an extended period of time. For 2 years in a row now. Okay, this is now just like, okay, what happened? So my question is, who is ultimately responsible, A, for not having mound clay at the field by the beginning of April when the season starts? It's now May 5th. The season's coming to a close. And for 2 years in a row, we don't have clay. And we have broken lights on the field for the entire season. So can you tell me what the process is? Why? Because I talk to people and all I keep hearing is, well, we're looking into it. We're looking into it. And it's an entire month.
Any other questions, Mr. Rosso?
No, not right now. No, I just want to know why we don't have mound clay and why we have broken lights for 2 years in a row.
Do you want me to start and then you can pick up?
Sure.
So I know that Mr. Lopez, our athletics committee chair, has been in contact with the athletic director, and he assures him that there is plenty of clay for the mound. So, yeah, that's Mr. Lopez's understanding. The lights,
We spent $35,000 in September to repair all of the lights in the district. We are told that there's another $7,000 now because some of the ballasts were not working. The process was for us to first change all the light bulbs. Once all the light bulbs were done, which we did pay for, as I said, $35,000, they had to hire, because we had to actually hire a bucket truck to get that done. Then they were checking all the ballasts to make sure the ballasts were working. There's a discrepancy from what I'm understanding. There's $7,000 more to fix the ballasts on those lights that are not working. So we did look into it. Additionally, I know for the long-range facility plan that we are expecting any day now, there's an additional quote to redo all of the lights in both sets of fields to a more efficient and long-lasting bulbs. So we don't have to go through this, but we did pay $35,000 to have all the lights fixed in October.
so just if there's clay, where is that?
It is my understanding that we do have the clay and that, in speaking with the athletic director, every year it's the same thing. After the comments are made, we check with the athletic director who says that the clay is there. It just takes a request process.
Where's the clay?
Sure.
So what is the process? The clay is there.
Where's the clay?
Hang on, Mike, I'm asking a follow-up question, which is probably aligned with yours. If the clay is there, one, where is it? Two, whose responsibility is it to place it, tamp it, and get the field ready for play come April 1st?
It is my understanding the athletic director has had conversations with the people who need the clay, get the clay, and even requests have come directly to him, and he's been told that, I have been told that it's been rectified. If that's not the case, then we'll do it the other way, make sure it's being done.
Talking about the field right out here?
Yeah.
There is no clay anywhere near this middle school field.
No, I know, we'll
So
get
you
on
guys
it.
are lying to me. You just lied to me. There is no clay.
There is clay,
I'm being
we
told.
just need
Where
to-
is it?
That's what we need to find out.
It's not hard to find.
Well, maybe I'm not in charge of the play.
I know you, but I'm not asking you, Kristen. I'm asking Mr. Kravitz. Where is the clay?
I don't know where the clay is, it's Mr. Rosso.
But you're saying there's clay on the field, but there's no clay nowhere near this middle school because either one of us would have taken.
Iggy, we're gonna find the play and we're gonna get to the bottom of it.
There are no more raised hands.
Close the floor to the
Okay,
public.
I have a motion from Ms.
Second.
Colback and a
Yes.
second from Ms. Burrell to close the floor to the public. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, may I have a motion to approve items 1B through walk-in 6B?
Motion. Second.
Motion Morel, second Kotang, roll call please.
Ms. Myers Kang? Ms. Colback?
Yes, but I abstain on my name on 3B.
Ms. Curry?
Yes.
That's noted. Mr. Knight?
Yes.
Ms. Kotang?
Yes.
Mr. Lopez?
Yes.
Ms. Morel?
Yes, but I abstain on my name on 3B.
Noted. Mr. Rubino?
Yes.
Ms. Richter?
Yes. May I have a motion to approve items 1B and G and 2B and G?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Rubino, second Morel, roll call please.
Ms. Myers Kang? Ms. Colback?
Yes.
Ms. Curry?
Yes.
Mr. Knight?
Yes.
Ms. Kotang?
Yes.
Mr. Lopez?
Yes.
Ms. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Rubino?
Yes.
Mr. Richter? Ms. Richter, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
May I have a motion to approve item 1CUR?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Morel, second Kotang, roll call please.
Ms. Myers Kang? Ms. Colback?
Yes.
Ms. Curry?
Yes.
Mr. Knight?
Yes.
Ms. Kotang?
Yes.
Mr. Lopez?
Yes.
Ms. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Rubino?
Yes.
Ms. Richter?
Yes.
Ms. Myers Kang, we're voting on curriculum items?
Yes.
Thank you.
May I have a motion to approve items 1F through 10F?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Curry, second Morel, roll call please.
Ms. Myers Kang?
Yes.
Ms. Colback?
Yes.
Ms. Curry?
Yes.
Mr. Knight?
Yes.
Ms. Kotang?
Yes.
Mr. Lopez?
Yes.
Ms. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Rubino?
Yes.
Ms. Richter?
Yes. May I have a motion to approve items 1P through 13P?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Morel, second Colback, roll call please.
Ms. Myers Kang?
Yes.
Ms. Colback?
Yes.
Ms. Curry?
Yes.
Mr. Knight?
Yes, and wishing Ms. Major the best of luck. I'm sorry, on 3B.
Ms. Major.
Ms. Kotang?
Yes, and also on 3P, regrettably to see Ms. Pito and Ms. Major, Mrs. Major resigning, but, best of luck and thank you for your service during this trip.
Mr. Lopez?
Yes, and on 2P, thank you and congratulations to that.
Noted. Ms. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Rubino?
Yes.
Ms. Richter?
Yes. We have a motion to approve items 1 POL and 2 POL.
Motion.
Second.
Motion Colback, second Morel, roll call please.
Ms. Myers Kang?
Yes to 1 POL and, abstain on 2 POL.
Noted. Ms. Colback?
Yes.
Ms. Curry?
Yes.
Mr. Knight?
Yes.
Ms. Kotang?
Yes.
Mr. Lopez?
Yes.
Ms. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Rubino?
Yes.
Ms. Richter?
Yes. Is there any old business?
I'd like to make a comment and repeat some of the comments that I made at the last meeting concerning, the smoking and vaping and marijuana that are, at the high school. Those are issues that certainly I and many others have raised, over the years, probably myself for the past 10. Hard to, when things take place in bathrooms, I know our administration over the years has tried to address it, and I know that you will continue to do so. With regard to the smoke detectors, my understanding is that, standard smoke detectors, aren't sensitive enough for some of the vaping and the things that we're, trying to chase down. And so, and I know that you're looking at all state-of-the-art type smoke detectors and what we can do to really address this problem, and I just want to thank the administration for doing so. Secondly, just while we're on that baseball field, what happened with the scoreboard? I thought someone donated it, or what they would, Tony Senator was gonna put it.
We have a buildings and grounds meeting on Wednesday to talk about what we're gonna do with it.
Okay,
It hasn't
so
been donated yet.
But, okay, I noticed that we don't have it, and so I would just ask the buildings and grounds to take that issue up.
We are.
Okay, great.
So, as far as the smoke and everything, and I know Mr. Knight, so I did research. They are, was it $4,000, I think, each unit. It does movement, it does sound, it can count people, number of people who enter and leave. It can do vaping. It's a very new technology. There are some kinks in the system. I asked for recommendations of other districts, specifically in Bergen County, who are using it. They were supposed to get back to us. They have not as of yet. Because there is, what you said, there is this whole, it's one unit that does all of that. So we're waiting to get some more information to learn exactly the details, and I'd like to see it in action. One of the things we did realize if we do something like that is that it will be constantly going off because it's going to register everything. It's one alarm. So if 7 kids walk in, it's going to go off. So it's just going to be a constant. So that's why we want to see it in action. As far as the scoreboard, so we did meet with the architect.
Do it at the B&G.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, under resolution.
We're on it.
A light bulb went off when Mickey was talking about the amount.
Okay.
But then I challenge anyone to let us know what your favorite Great Gatsby quotes are.
You should all be getting an email tomorrow or the next day from central office about dates for upcoming end of year items as far as graduation ceremony, all the awards ceremonies and things like that. And you all should have received an invitation for the awards dinner today at your seat.
Sure.
You have the RSVP.
Yes, I have a couple things. So first of all, I'd like to, thank you, Dr. Kravitz, for looking into that technology. I think it's really promising. I'd like to get a commitment from everyone that we can agree that we would have vape or smoke detectors in all the bathrooms within a certain period of time. I think it's really important as the kids are going to move to the bathrooms where they know that they aren't. I think we should make a real effort to ensure that they're in all the time. A couple other things. Not that it was relevant in the recent incidents that occurred, but something that came up a lot in conversations surrounding it was residency. And it's my understanding that our current residency officer is a part-time employee. And I think the size of the district, I think just given the amount of work, I believe it should be a full-time position. And I'd like to make a motion to explore making that a full-time position as soon as possible.
Before the motion is, just to the extent that there's a motion procedurally, the superintendent should hold off on addressing it until there's a second, because that would trigger the discussion. So, I mean, unless you want to withdraw the motion, is there a second? If there's no second, then there will be no discussion on the motion, just from a Robert's Rule standpoint. But to not overcomplicate things, if you want to kind of chime in and might help guide the conversation, you can.
So,
and I'll give my comments.
So on a personnel issue, obviously we recognize after the concerns that were addressed, we're just making sure our budget, and that's why some of the things that we're doing in the future might give us the ability to have an increase in the residency officer. So it's something we are definitely interested in doing.
And if I just may, board members, respectfully, if I can remind you of your board bylaws, which incorporate the code of ethics for school board members found at New Jersey statutes annotated 18A:12-24.1. And I will specifically reference number 3, which is again in your bylaw 0142, where it says confine, this is for board members, you took an oath to do this, confine his or her board action to policymaking, planning, and appraisal, and help to frame policies and plans only after the board has consulted those who will be affected by them. When it comes to personnel actions or recommendations, that is a confidential matter that is more appropriately discussed in closed executive session prior to referencing it in the public, particularly if and when it may relate to past, present, or potential legal, personnel, student matters, so as not to needlessly injure or expose this Board of Education, which you all have a fiduciary responsibility to needless financial harm and or injury. So my suggestion is that whenever you have questions or comments about personnel, student safety of persons or property, that is a issue that is appropriate for discussion in closed session. If for any reason it is not appropriate for closed, we will correct that, stop the discussion, and entertain it in public. I'll also note that technically speaking, the recommendations for personnel action pursuant to the Code of Ethics have to come from the superintendent, not so much from the board. The way the question was posed, I think it was fair enough in that, if you're willing to appropriate the funds for a budget, then the superintendent by all means can explore, full-time, part-time, et cetera. But also please note that may trigger collective bargaining issues with your union, et cetera. All of which should not be discussed in public until after board members have consulted with those who will be affected by it pursuant to your board bylaw, specifically 0142.3, and the entirety of the Code of Ethics for board members. Thank you.
General, thank you.
So that motion, I guess, is it withdrawn or do you?
No, withdrawn, thank you. All right. And then the final one is in New York City, they've been working with this system that they call New York City's Respect for All reporting system. I don't know if you've heard anything about this. I hope I'm allowed to talk about it now. But it's essentially a reporting system where students and parents, whoever can they can report things in an anonymous manner where they don't have to fear retribution or anything of that nature. It's been working really well for them, and it can be used for things such as alerting authorities to vaping. It could be residency, anything really, but just I'd like us to explore an anonymous reporting system like New York City has. Thank you.
We can look into that, see what we can find out.
I have one couple things. Wanted to just give a shout out to School 3, Mrs. Mulligan, and the environmental team club. They recently planted 2 planters in front of the school and a number of additional greenery additions to add on to what Mr. Austin's comments earlier. There are landscaping gaps that I've been seeing, not just at School 3, but this past weekend when I drove by the high school, the weeds were 3 feet high at some point. I don't know if it's probably been cut. I haven't passed by it, but in my years of, as a resident in this town, I have never seen the front of our school in the state that it's in. So this is something that I know we're hiring a landscaper. I don't know how far we are in that process, but I want to point that it needs attention. All the landscaping, at least at School 3 and in the high school.
We have a landscaper and we'll reach out to them. I know you texted me on Saturday regarding that, so we get it.
Something taller than me about it.
Any other board members have any business?
I don't have new business, but I have a comment. I noticed that the playground at school number 1 on the kindergarten side, that equipment that the PTA bought many years ago, they were able to move it. I'm not sure exactly who moved it or how it got moved, but I'm glad it got put to use because you did a lot of fundraising for that. And I'm glad it wasn't just thrown away. And as far as what was said about the building and grounds meeting, I'm looking forward to having a meeting. I'm looking forward to hearing some stuff. I've been bringing up things since the whole year since I got to be on that committee. So, hopefully the strategic planning will come through and, we will have, something to, talk about. But, yeah, I was at the high school the other day. Someone, I guess the custodians, or I don't know who, someone, actually fixed the bathroom doors, so they do shut now, which is an improvement, but, don't make a mistake and, fall into the partition because it could fall apart. It's, that bathroom it's just bad, it's bad, and we'll talk about it Wednesday, but I don't want people to think that I'm not doing anything with it. I have requested several times to have a building and grounds meeting, so finally there is going to be a building and grounds meeting this week. For whatever reasons, many reasons, it didn't work out for enough people to be able to have the meeting. So buildings and grounds is very, very, very important. You use this building that we're in right here, this is our showcase. This is our $15 million referendum. This is our building that I knocked on doors when I had little kids to get built. And our other buildings need to have things that make them feel, you can't feel like this. You can't make up 200 or however many hundreds or however, and how old are the buildings? 120, 150, 100, yeah, up there, it's over 100. When I get 100, I'm gonna need some tune-ups too. I'm gonna make it, but the thing is that we have to do better with the bathrooms. The bathrooms are really bad at the high school, they're really bad at the high school. The middle school, these are the buildings that I've been in for whatever reasons, for sporting events and things. It's okay, the boys' bathrooms honestly looked pretty good from what I saw. Not that I hang out in the boys' bathroom, but the door was open. The door was open, there wasn't anybody in there, I peeked my head in there. It has walls in it, it's new. It has a new flooring. The girls' bathroom is disgusting. It has to be, we have to do it, and we're going to address it. I want the public to know we're not looking, like, it's not that I don't say something, is that we're waiting on the strategic planning people. I don't know who these people are, I don't like them, they're not my friends, but I want them to get it together. Thank you.
It's a long-range facility plan.
Yeah, whatever the heck it is, let's do it.
They're different. Strategic planning is for the goals and the visions for future.
Okay.
Long-range facility planning.
Whatever we need.
And just so everyone knows what it is out there again, if the long-range facility plan is done by the architects and they employ engineers and they bring in demographers and they determine the population growth, the usage of the buildings, they start to list everything that needs to get done, and they give you a chronological order of the life of everything from windows to doors to everything that's in the district. It's supposed to be done every 10 years. It has not been done here for a long period of time. It will give you in today's cost, and that is what drives our basis for our capital reserve. How much you can put in your capital reserve is determined by the total cost of all of the projects that need to get done in your district. And once we have that, we can have the plan, because as I mentioned, and I agree that some of the things are not clean and necessarily need to be renovated. But we have to look at, we can have the nicest bathrooms, but the walls are about to collapse. I'd rather do the walls first, right? So we need.
You don't tell me the walls are gonna collapse.
No, but we have,
Are we there?
I will tell you that we have in our school district, a lot of electrical systems that are about 60 or 70 years old.
Yes.
And
That was a
when we
problem
talk
with the
about.
air conditioning.
So when we talk about what needs to get done and prioritizing, we need to make sure that our children are safe first.
Yes.
And making sure that there's heat and hot water and air conditioning and all of those things and bathrooms as well. But we need an outside entity to do an analysis, which we are completing any moment with an engineer that will determine everything that needs to get done and what needs to get taken care of.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next comment.
Okay, anything else? All right, may I have a motion to adjourn? Motion Rubino, second Morel, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, everyone.